On second thought, tell me one of those stories. Your choice.
Very well. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
One more reason to punch Dave Filoni in his micro dick. Howdy all, I'm Adam the Renaissance Nerd, and welcome back to my review of Rebels Season 5. Yes, you heard what I said, Rebels Season 5, because that's what this really is in the end. This is a Dave Filoni Disney Star Wars project that has nothing to do with real Star Wars, that in fact hates all things real Star Wars. But I'm about to pay Dave Filoni a compliment. I know, be still your beating heart. I'm about to pay Dave Filoni a compliment. He is an artist. In the end, Dave Filoni is an artist because never in my entire life have I seen somebody so genius, so perfect at telling a story about nothing, about producing a product where literally nothing happens and stretching that nothing into something supremely boring. Because once again, with this episode titled Far, Far Away. First of all, also, how uncreative are you? Again, written by Dave Filoni, entire episode written by Dave Filoni. How uncreative are you to just title your episode Far, Far Away? It's so childish. It's infantile, but then again, you're pandering to a bunch of infants anyway. This episode is an insult, once again, to a fantastic character that is Grand Admiral Thrawn, created by Timothy Zahn. The Thrawn trilogy, that's the Thrawn you know and love. This Thrawn, well, he is nothing of the sort, but we'll get to him eventually. Oh boy, will we get to him. So this episode, Thrawn will appear. Sabine is insufferably stupid and retarded, and the plot armor on her is the thickest I've seen in a while. And he's back, everybody. He's going to come home, everybody. Ezra, yay, Ezra. The Try-Hard Jedi arrives. And we get more, and we get a little bit more of Ray Stevenson's reasons for doing stuff. Very cryptic, very open, very dull. But that's about it. But Dave Filoni manages to stretch it out over 40 minutes, and that takes skill. Retard skill. All right, with that, let's get to it. I suffer so you don't have to.
That is Peridia, the ancient homeworld of my ancestors, the Dathomiri.
The Jedi Archive spoke of this place. It was the end of the migration route used by the Star Whales as they traversed the void from one galaxy to the other.
Are you ready? Are you ready for some of the most insulting, lore-breaking stuff Dave Filoni's done today? Because that's what we're going to complain about in the first part of this review. Dave Filoni has no respect for George Lucas's Star Wars. No respect for real Star Wars. And again, I say real Star Wars because George oversaw it all. Nothing happened without his approval. This would not have been approved by George Lucas. Why? I'll get there in a moment. Of course, we start with Ahsoka and David Tennant Droid. Oh, I'm sorry, Ahsoka the White. Have to remember that now. Ahsoka the White and David Tennant Droid are sitting inside the mouth of the space whale on their way to Crapville. Ahsoka admits that she didn't tell Hera that Sabine betrayed them all, and she's now sad about it. David Tennant Droid, blah, blah, blah. They have a conversation. Would you like to hear a story eventually? Basically, Ahsoka is moping. Ahsoka the White is moping because now she can't seem quite to understand that Sabine betrayed everybody, that she wasn't ready for the burden. She wasn't ready to make the decision. David Tennant Droid says she was fated to make that decision, but I should have trained her better. She wasn't ready. It's a load of mumbo-jumbo bullshit. Sabine is a shit character covered in plot armor so that you can get them to Thrawn, and fake Thrawn can then arrive in the Star Wars galaxy. That's why she exists. That's why she survived for so long, including this episode, but we'll get there. Basically, though, David Tennant Droid says, would you like to hear a story? Some of the children's stories. I mean, like the ones I used to hear in the temple? Not really. Okay, why not? And then he does what I showed you in the intro clip a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Go yourself, Dave Filoni. You piece of shit. That is an insult. That term should not be actually used inside the Star Wars universe, inside the dialogue. But I'm Dave Filoni. All I can do is put something out there to make you go, wee! God, I hate that man. Anyway, that's it for Ahsoka. Enjoy her. She's gone. She'll be referenced a couple times, but that's it. All gone. Now we move on to the adventures of Sabine in Rebels Season 5. We come upon Sabine in her jail cell, moping, when there's a movement at the door, and there's Ray Stevenson. She asks to be let out. I did what you asked for. Where's your part of the deal? Don't worry, you'll get it. He walks away. That's it. We'll come back to her in a little bit. Ray Stevenson goes up to the bridge of the giant space donut, talks with Night Sister Girl Boss, who I really cannot stand to look at this woman. There's something about her that just makes me want to do horrible things. Just her look. Maybe it's the way she's portrayed, her arrogance, her attitude. It's annoying. It's insufferable. And it's not the kind of annoying where, oh man, I love to hate this villain. No, it's just, I hate you on the screen. I can't stand you. Every second you're on, I want to bleach my eyeballs. I want to plug up my ears, blow out my eardrums so I don't have to hear you speak or see you. She's terrible. None of these people can act except for Ray Stevenson. He's the only man who showed up to act in this episode. Again. Anywho, they eventually arrive in the other galaxy. I guess traveling from galaxy to galaxy only takes a couple of hours. Only takes a few hours, huh? Big long journey across the big black. Nope. I could snap. No, I can't. But you know what I mean. It's not happening today. There we go. They cross the big black like that. All right, we're there. Big whoop. Once again, one of my eternal criticisms of Disney Star Wars and all modern bastardizations of things we love, they have no concept of how long it should take to get from point A to point B. Let's just fast travel and be done with it. They arrive at Peridia, whatever the hell you want to call this made-up planet. And it is a made-up planet because here you go. After saying it's a Spacewell graveyard, Night Sister Girl Boss, and this is Dave Filoni, through Night Sister Girl Boss, completely destroys the history of Star Wars by saying, this is the homeworld of the Dathomiri Night Sisters. Let that sink in for a moment. This is her ancestral homeworld. So Dave Filoni is saying that the Night Sisters, who according to Night Sister Girl Boss, tamed the space whales to ride the hyperspace lanes, they came from another galaxy into the Star Wars galaxy. And they brought with them their powers, their technology, possibly knowledge of the Force. Because remember, despite all the bullshit surrounding Dave Filoni and his fake Dathomiri Night Sisters, they still use the Force. It's not magic. It's still the Force. So now apparently the Force exists outside the Star Wars galaxy, where it's created by all life within it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so the Night Sister Girl Boss says, oh yes, my people came here. We're the oldest living species in the Star Wars galaxy. Older than the Rat-a-Taki, all that shit. I doubt it, but they've already not Rat-a-Taki, I'm sorry, Rakata. They've already bastardized the Rakata in Disney Star Wars, so whatever. Right, so there you go. It's retarded, I know. Dave Filoni has now destroyed the lore even more. This is not George Lucas's Star Wars. This is Dave Filoni and Disney Star Wars. There is no difference. Don't believe the bullshit you're hearing. There is no difference between Dave Filoni, Star Wars, Filoniverse, Mandoverse, and Disney Star Wars. It is all one and the same. He has written and directed and produced the bulk of it. Outside of the 3 movies, 2 Jar Jar, 1 Ruin, he did the rest of it. Jon Favreau, he was along for the ride. He is not your friend. Right, so they land. They're going to land on Night Sister Girl Boss homeworld. They take a shuttle down. They bring Sabine with them. And guess what? They arrive at Minas Tirith. Yes, that's Minas Tirith. It's Minas Tirith. Okay, whatever. Let's go land on top of Minas Tirith. They land on top of Minas Tirith, and they find 3 great mother Night Sisters. So they've just been chilling out for thousands of years here, I guess. All right, whatever. And we learn that it was these 3 old crones that sent Night Sister Girl Boss her visions across the galaxy. They're really powerful. They can send images across galaxies. That's impressive, Dave Filoni. Wow. Emperor Palpatine sure couldn't do that. The Jedi couldn't, yeah, but the Night Sister Girl Bosses, the bastardized versions of the Dathomiri, are powerful enough to send their Force visions across galaxies. Wow, the Force can do anything, can't it? They blah-de-blah each other about thank you for coming, your visions, you got him, where's Thrawn, he'll be here soon. Then they see Sabine, she stinks of Jedi. Smells of Jedi. Sabine probably smells a lot of things. They wrap her up in their little laser grid, send her to her little jail cell. Then we come back up top and they say we're going to prepare now for Thrawn. And now we get some Ray Stevenson, Balin backstory, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't really call it that because we get a speech between him and Emo Bang's Dark Jedi girl who literally speaks in 3 to 5 word sentences. That she just goes, no. Of course, all I hear is me. That's all I hear. But she rambles on, asking questions, and now we get Ray Stevenson giving us Balin's motivations. He's sick and tired of the cycle of war. Jedi, Sith, Empire, Jedi, Empire, Sith, Sith, Empire, Jedi. Brother, he's sick of the cycle. And at one point, while they're talking, just to prove how bad the dialogue is, they don't learn the lesson of just talk about something. Just have some conversation without pointing out the bloody obvious. We already know that Ray Stevenson is an Order 66 survivor, that he's a fallen Jedi, a dark Jedi, who was part of the old Jedi Order during the Republic. When he's saying, when I was just about your age, a little bit older, I watched everything I knew burn. And then she says, you mean the fall of the temple? Of course the fall of the temple, you fucking idiot! But I'm Dave Filoni. I gotta tell you what is the bloody obvious. I mean, this is just more examples of the genius of Dave Filoni, stretching out nothing into something supremely boring. So they have their conversation. We learn Balin's desire is to find some power on this world and to start something better than the Jedi. Yeah. Okay. But without the power-hungry ideals of the Sith, because Bang's emo dark Jedi girl goes, then we can take power? No, we're just going to start something better. For all of you who think this is a well-developed, exciting character, this is about as paper-thin motivations as you can get, with Dave Filoni stretching it out and dodging actually telling you what's going on with Ray Stevenson. We go back to the cell. We see 12-year-old boy Sabine attempt to use the Force to open the door. And for a second, everything starts to shake, and she thinks, am I doing it? No. She looks out the window. Here comes the Star Destroyer. Behold, hey, everybody, it's the Chimera, Thrawn's flagship, although it's completely falling apart. And now, the moment many retards have been waiting for, Disney Thrawn arrives. And I hope that somebody brought his girdle.
What was first just a dream has become a frightening reality for those who may oppose us.
Oh boy, this is what everybody's been waiting for. Live action Thrawn, yay! I bet nobody expected live action Thrawn to have a beer belly, a pot belly, be out of shape, to stand like an awkward duck. Oh, I can't stand. I barely stand on my own feet. Did anybody not tell Lars Mikkelsen to get in shape before doing this? Thrawn is the military man. The military's military man. He is the ultimate imperfection when it comes to being a soldier. Thrawn would not be an overweight dad bod. We'll get to the Chimera lands itself on top of Minas Tirith so that the platform lines up with the hangar bay. So we get a nice shot of all these raggedy stormtroopers, especially when it turns around we get Mr. Faceplate with a human face stormtrooper man as the captain of Thrawn's guard. I'm sorry, how stupid does this look? This is not impressive. Mr. Faceplate, human faceplate, stormtrooper man. What the hell? With a voice that's distorted, you can barely understand what she's saying. What is going on here? This right here, the introduction of Thrawn, this is pure half-assed Disney Star Wars. Dave Filoni verse Star Wars. Because as Thrawn marches down the aisle, with all the stormtroopers going, Thrawn, 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 to really cheesy bad music. Once again, the score knocks it out of the park with being bad. Here comes Thrawn. Now, Filoni only wrote this. He didn't direct it. So you think, though, the director, knowing that Lars Mikkelsen is out of shape, would shoot it to try and at least hide it. But no, our first shot of Thrawn as he marches down the hangar bay. There it is, right there, belly and all. This is pathetic. Half-assed Disney Star Wars. Let's just shove him out there, gut and all, okay? Who cares? The stupid stands are going to slobber this up no matter what. All they're going to see is, they're not going to even care. Because they're not going to care. I guarantee right now, the very moment I'm recording this, and the very moment you're watching this review, the X-Twitter stands, the Disney slobbers, the Dave Filoni zombies are just going, Dave Filoni gave us Thrawn. Oh, look at Thrawn, look at Thrawn. I guarantee they are just wetting themselves and sucking each other's dicks because they got Lars Mikkelsen, who was the voice actor in Rebels. That's the only reason he's here. Because he was the voice actor of not Thrawn in Rebels. That's it. That's the only reason he's here. They didn't try to cast anybody. They didn't try to make an effort to get a good-looking guy, somebody who can command authority, someone who can actually speak. Because when he speaks with a subtle talk like this, with no command whatsoever. I'm so glad to see everybody here, that our plans have come to fruition. Blah, 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 blah. There's no authority behind his voice. There's that mystique of I'm Thrawn, I know everything just by looking at you. It isn't here. Because he even is surprised when he discovers that they have Sabine as a prisoner. Turns to the Night Sister, Great Mother Girl Boss, says, you didn't tell me about this. Because it was a loose thread. Loose thread. Thrawn is surprised. Turns General Balin as though he knows him. Like General Balin Skull is actually somebody. Ray Stevenson replies, hey, listen, I brought her along because I made a promise, and we can use her because we used her to get to you. Her need for try-hard Ezra. Thrawn goes, oh, okay. That could be something good. Let's check that out. Let's go deal with this. Because now we're going to learn, as they bring 12-year-old boy Sabine up to him, that Thrawn hasn't been able to find Ezra in all these years. That's right. Try-hard Ezra, try-hard Jedi Ezra is eluding the greatest Imperial tactician of all time. The man who could read your moves once he understood how you thought, using art. I don't see any of that here. The man who brought the New Republic to its knees and only lost through his own hubris was not really beaten. No, this Thrawn was beaten by a bunch of retread retards on a freighter. A bunch of tryhards. Tryhard Jedi, a tryhard R2, and a tryhard Han Solo, and a tryhard Obi-Wan, and a tryhard Boba Fett. That's what Rebels is. And if you're upset with that, then you probably shouldn't be watching this review. Because Rebels is dog shit. It's not real Star Wars. Anywho, after a really lame conversation with 12-year-old boy Sabine, where he actually says something intelligent, you betrayed and traded the safety of the galaxy for tryhard Ezra. To which she replies, you wouldn't understand. After he goes, perhaps not. Okay, you'll get all you want. Oh, you got to ride. She actually says, you got to ride for me? In a very sarcastic, I'm a girl bossing trainee way. You better not give me this. I'm going to sass you. He presents her with all her gear and a giant rat horse mount. To which she goes, okay, fine, gets all her gear, gets all her Beskar Mando gear back, and her blasters and her tryhard lightsaber. And then Stormtrooper human faceplate man says to her, you better be careful out there looking for Ezra, because there are nomads out there. Can't guarantee your safety. Look out. Whatever, I'm prepared. I'm a girl boss. Then she rides off into the sunset. We get one more shot of not Thrawn and Ray Stevenson and Night Sister Girl Boss bangs emo dark Jedi girl watching her leave, to which Thrawn says, Lord Balin, I want you to go and follow her, and then she'll lead you to Ezra, and then take care of them all. Yes, that was his master plan. Because with the Chimera and his resources in hand, and being the genius that he is, Thrawn could not find one tryhard Jedi all these years. Yep. Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? Isn't that the mad genius, the great, awesome Thrawn at work? No, I'm going to send out a couple fallen Jedi to track a not Mandalorian to go find the tryhard Jedi. And okay, fine, they ride off. And now we get a really good fight scene. No, I'm being sarcastic. No, we get a shit fight scene that shows you how lovingly thick Sabine's plot armor is.
You abandoned me! Should have known you were a coward.
You're gonna love this. Sabine is out there. She's looking for signs of Ezra using... Oh, look, it's a standard Star Wars tracking device. Look, it's even making the noises. As soon as she starts to look, her mount has a spooked moment and throws her off. She's not hurt. Don't worry. She's fine. She gets up, rolls up. She's being attacked by nomad bandits. What ensues now, excuse me, is, again, what you expect from Disney Star Wars. Hackneyed choreography. Botched moves, clunky swinging of saber, blaster. It's all over the place. But here's what you got to realize when you watch this. This is Sabine's plot armor at work. First of all, these nomad bandits are firing at her. They're taking pot shots. She doesn't have Jedi reflexes. She's not a Jedi. Yet she continually goes like this to block blaster bolts. She Wonder Woman's this shit with her Beskar gauntlets. So she's going, meep. Now, after the first couple shots, and they keep shooting at her chest, and the bolts keep bouncing off, because remember, she's got Beskar. Now, if you look at her legs in all of this, her legs are basically unarmored. Why not shoot her in the leg? Shoot her in the leg. Gimp her, cripple her. Then why don't you shoot her in the head? No, she's going to go like this. Because she can block a blaster bolt by going like this. Even though she's not a Jedi, has no force powers, cannot sense things coming, has no danger sense, no force guidance. No, she will keep going like this. Meep. Doesn't matter. It's okay. Moving on. It's a rumble-tumble fight. Eventually, she gets disarmed from her blasters. So, let me get this straight. She loses her blasters, pulls out the try-hard lightsaber, and then they stop using their blasters. They stop using their blasters. I think they fire at her once, and she somehow, again, masterfully deflects it with her lightsaber, even though she is not force sensitive, and you shouldn't even be able to use the force in another galaxy. Anyway, another discussion for another time. A very sloppy choreography of slashing around, swinging the light stick, and they all eventually run away. And she wins, yay! But her tracking device is broken, and now she just needs to walk. Well, we return momentarily back to Minas Tirith, where Thrawn and Night Sister Girlboss are having a little convo. They get the notification that Baylan is on his way. They might not find it. They're going to be ready to go soon. Doesn't matter what they talk about. What boils down to this, though, what we have here is when it's talked about how Baylan may or may not get to Sabine and Ezra and whatever, Night Sister Girlboss says, are we really going to sacrifice them? Thrawn goes, yeah, sure, whatever. This scene is just an example of Thrawn not being Thrawn. Grand Admiral Thrawn does not waste resources. In fact, he utilizes them with backup plan upon backup plan upon backup plan that makes sure they don't betray him or go off the rails. This guy, oh, I'm going to waste the mercenary Jedi, no problem. Whatever, their use is over. No, you could probably find a little more use for a couple of dark Jedi who are willing to do just about anything to achieve their own goals, including let you happen. Nope, fine, whatever. So that's all this scene really is good for, to show you how not Thrawn is a complete disaster and a botch of the character. Anyway, we return to 12-year-old Sabine, and here's my transition clip. She's walking along. Here's Disney Star Wars Dave Filoni attempt at comedy, yelling at her mount for running away, as though the mount is some sort of intelligent creature beyond just a thing to get her from point A to point B. No, we have to give the mount some personality. It has to look sad that she's yelling at it, and it's still going to follow her, even though she tells it to go away. And then she forgives it. Of course she's going to forgive it, because it's a good little sweet, ugly rat monster. She forgives it, and it smells something. She lets it lead her around. She comes to a spot where it just drinks some water. Oh, you just wanted water. Gee, you're useless. But then it starts licking a rock. And again, pretty obvious what's about to happen. The rock's going to pop to life. And oh, look, it's a tiny, excuse me, hiccups. It's a tiny little alien creature. Well, after everybody calming down, because the little creature keeps trying, again, forced comedy. Little creature keeps hiding under its rock shell. And Sabine keeps saying, that's not going to work. We see you, but it keeps hiding under it. Again, isn't that funny? No, it's not. Stupid, boring. But Dave Filoni, the master of drawing out nothing to give you supremely boring. Eventually, Sabine coaxes it out of its shell. They have a little conversation. Do you know Ezra? It doesn't speak a word of fucking basic. Do you know Ezra? Ezra Bridger. Because what she sees, because as they're talking, it points to her rebel insignia. And then it pulls out a medallion of the rebel insignia. You know Ezra. Ezra. It signals, and a bunch of other little bastards were there the whole time. They have a little powwow and decide to lead her along. Yay! We cut to Ray Stevenson and Bang's emo dark Jedi girl as they are looking at the battle that Sabine had, and we use that word very lightly. What this is, again, another chance for Ray Stevenson to tell us of his motivations, where Bang's emo dark Jedi girl asks her, do you miss it? Do you miss being Jedi? I miss what it was supposed to be, but I don't miss its weakness. And it's more of this, I'm Dave Filoni. I'm going to try and use a really good actor to try and pretend that something profound is being said when in fact nothing is being said. He misses the ideal of what the Jedi should have been. but doesn't miss their weakness. That's the core of his thing, but he spreads it out over 4 long minutes of crap dialogue. Anywho, they still need to find Tryhard, Ezra, and Sabine. Then they see some bandits and they realize, and they actually says, no, we're not going to fight them. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Seriously, Dave Filoni is a horrible writer. Really. Can't you come up with a better phrase than that? It's an oldie but a goodie, but this is a big time production. I'm Dave Filoni. We return to Sabine. She's being led around by tiny little rock-back alien bug-eyed dudes. They lead her to their little village. And after literally 3 minutes of walking around the village and shots of the village and everybody looking at her, then Dave Filoni gives his zombies what they've been begging for I don't know how many years. What has it been, a decade almost, where they've been begging for our boy to come home. Where's our boy? Where's Ezra? We need Ezra. Well, there he is. Ezra. Whee! The try-hard Jedi. The replacement for one of the replacements for Luke Skywalker. Because what you're going to see here, and what you see here in this show, is Dave Filoni putting all the pieces in place for his Star Wars adventures without anything George Lucas related. That's what he's doing. That's what Ezra Bridger stands for. The try-hard Jedi who, along with Ahsoka the White, is the replacement for Luke. For this final adventure they want to tell through this and through the Mandoverse. Cutting through all this quickly, you get their emotional reunion, and for the Rebel Tards, they're crying right now. They are literally probably crying watching this because that's what they say in their expressions. I'm crying, I'm vomiting, I'm screaming, I'm wetting myself, I'm dying inside. This brought me back to life. I needed this. Oh my God, I didn't know how bad I needed this. They are literally crying right now watching this. Rest of us, most people, who the hell is this and why should I care? It's the try-hard Jedi Ezra Bridger. That's who. Emotional reunion. They're, you took long enough. Hey, I'm here anyway. I knew you'd find me. But normal bullshit type conversation stuff. We get low-grade dialogue between them. Eventually reading to the point where she acts... Why they have to work this in, I don't understand. It's just retarded Dave Filoni-verse shit. I see even here, you've got your own rebels. So what's the rebel? Are we the rebel? He goes, yeah, you met my little buddies here. I'm glad they led you to me. Hey, Sabine, I'm so ready to go home. Then she gives a look of, yeah, I'm going to have to tell you that I betrayed everybody we care about in order to find you. And I gave Thrawn his way back to the galaxy. We're probably going to be stranded here. Final shot of the episode. We're back in the hangar bay of the Chimera. They're continuing to load shit that the Night Sister, Great Mother Girl bosses want. When they've summoned Thrawn to tell him that Ahsoka's coming. Ahsoka the White is coming. We need to be prepared. Looks at Night Sister Girl boss, says, I thought you took care of her. Again, Thrawn's surprised and a little shaken, which is not Thrawn. She goes, I'll take care of it. And he then basically says, shoot the space whales as soon as you see them, which is a good plan. Don't wait, just shoot. Now, what's going to happen? I don't know. Next time we'll find out. Then tells the Night Sister Girl Bar, says, I need your dark magic again. It was fated that way. Episode. We're done. Let's recap and get the hell out of here.
I thought it was beyond you to underestimate a Jedi. After all, death and resurrection are common deceptions played out by both Night Sister and Jedi.
There you have it. Rebels, Season 5, Episode 6. What happened here? Let's just recap real quick. Dave Filoni just ruined Star Wars lore. He has now ruined where hyperspace travel came from completely. It's all thanks to the Night Sister girl bosses of Dathomir and Dave Filoni verse Star Wars that hyperspace travel exists, because they tamed the space whales first. Therefore, they brought it to the Star Wars galaxy. Let's forget that the Rakata existed 20,000 years before the Jedi were even created, and they had the Infinite Empire. No. We've already butchered that in another show. And/or sucked. Then we have the assassination of Thrawn. And not the way Rook did it. We have the deconstruction of his character. Lars Mikkelsen gives a horrible performance and is a fat old man in this. Beer belly, pot belly, whatever you want to call it. Nobody brought him his girdle. He gives a performance that has no gravitas, no power, no authority. He's just a soft-spoken guy. That's Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni thinks soft-spoken is Thrawn. Now, I know in Rebels, Thrawn was a hands-on guy and fought. Again, that wasn't even Thrawn in that. Thrawn sat back and figured shit out. And it put in plan after plan after plan to get shit done. There was no, I make it up as I go along. Not to mention, again, a military of all military men. Spit shine, combed hair, not fat. This whole thing is a disaster. And then the Sabine plot armor is ridiculous. She should have died so many times in this show already, but she should have died when those bandit raiders came after her. Let's not shoot her in the head because she can Wonder Woman block that shit. Don't shoot her in the legs where she's clearly not armored. Just keep shooting her in the same spots where you know it's going to reflect. And then, even when you've disarmed her ranged weapon, stop shooting and attack her with melee instead. Fine. What else? It's horrible dialogue. More, we already freaking know this shit. Oh, are you talking about the Jedi Temple? Of course you're talking about the Jedi Temple. And all of it so you can bring back the try-hard Jedi as well. All of it to give it live-action Thrawn and the try-hard Jedi. The meaningless, empty character who is not Star Wars. None of this is Star Wars. You are free to like this, but don't cry at me for criticizing it and pointing out all the problems. Don't cry at me, because all you do is make me want to do it more. But if you can watch this, enjoy it, and admit it isn't Star Wars and it isn't canon, then we're going to get along just fine, because I know you at least understand what's going on here. But if you're a whiny little bitch, you're a fake fan. You're not a real fan. You don't get it. Why can't you let us have our fun? You know why? Because y'all started this first when we didn't like The Last Jedi. Y'all started this. We're going to finish it. But that's a whole discussion for another time. We're done here. Next week, Ahsoka the White will likely arrive, get shot out of the sky, and somehow survive a crashing space whale. And we're going to get more bad lightsaber duels. We're going to get to see the try-hard Jedi probably fight Balin. Maybe die. Maybe, Ahsoka the White's never going to die, but maybe he'll kill Ezra. I hope Ray Stevenson kills try-hard Ezra, because the wailing and gnashing of teeth that will happen from the stands, that'll be a lullaby to me. All right, guys. If you had a good time here today, hit that like button. Leave a comment. If you're new here, check out the channel. Subscribe to me right here on YouTube. Here to earn your trust, support, using facts and logic, because that's all I'm going to use. Just showed you the facts and logic of how bad it is. If you didn't like that, well, I can't help you there. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. Till next time, take it easy, and may the real Force and real Star Wars always be with you. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you'd like to reach out to me, please email me at therarenerd@gmail.com for all channel business purposes. I am on Twitter now, mostly for promotion and sharing of videos, maybe a little shit stirring here and there, who knows, @TheRenNerd. You can also find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can see me on Rumble and Odyssey under the Renaissance Nerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.